Hi everyone, my name's Kate Kalthoff and welcome to a Stamping to Share video. Do you know someone that you need to say hello to? Maybe just drop them a quick card in the mail? Well, this card will certainly bring a smile to her face. It is Just Saying Hello, and it uses a stamp set called Crazy About You bundled with the Hello You Thinlit dies. And so it's just a sweet card just to remind someone that you appreciate them or are thinking of them or miss them. And the stamp set that we used again is Crazy About You bundled with Hello You. Now of course the teacup is created with the cups and kettles die. So I use this kind of flatter one. There's another teacup that I actually don't have in here. I've got it in use right now in another part of my house. But I'm going to show you how I do this. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that you're going to want is a piece of smoky slate. This is 5.5 by 8.5 scored at 4 1/4. And we're just going to fold along the score line. And then we're going to open this card up, and on the bottom we're going to set in a 1/2 inch strip of the Love Blossoms Designer Series paper. And so we'll go ahead and we're going to use a little multi-purpose liquid glue to adhere this. So we're just going to set this on here. Now you might want to pay attention that there are little hearts, little tiny hearts on this Designer Series paper. So you want to make sure you haven't cut those sideways or have glued them on upside down. And so now we can set the card base aside. The next strip of paper, again, from the Love Blossoms Designer Series 6x6 stack that you can find in the Occasions 2016 catalog. This is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. Now, a lot of these papers would be really pretty, and so don't hesitate to experiment with different designs. In fact, the card that I originally did has a slightly different design. This design has hearts on, so when I put it through the Big Shot machine with my little teacup, I want to make sure that the hearts are going to be right side up on the teacup. So I will be positioning this so that it is about exactly halfway between these two, because then we'll be putting a panel on over the top, so you won't see the cutout. So let me go ahead and get the Big Shot machine and I'll show you what I mean. Here's the Big Shot machine, and the way I've layered it is I have the magnetic platform, then I'm putting down my cut plate, and then I have my paper and my die. And then we're going to take another cut plate, which I actually don't use for cutting, but I like to keep that clear so I can see through it and make sure nothing's moving. But I run this through, and then we're going to take that out of here. And we have our cute little coffee cup that we're going to use on our card. So let me remove this from the photo. And now we can continue on with making our card. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take, again, some multi-purpose liquid glue. We're just going to put a strip all the way around this Designer Series paper. And we are going to glue that down onto the front of our card. And one of the reasons I like using glue is it gives me just a few seconds to adjust it so that I can move it into place. All right, and now the next layer that we're going to be working with is a 3.5 by 4 3/4 inch piece of our shimmery white paper. The shimmery white paper isn't quite as bright of a white as our Whisper White paper, and so that's why I wanted to use this. I wanted it not to be quite such a stark white. And then I did this ahead of time. I did use the Big Shot machine to cut out the hello from the Hello You Thinlits, and then I also took a little tag from the Cups and Kettles die to make for our tea, for our little teacup. So now I can just remove the hello portion from this little scrap of smoky slate. Get this out of here, and it's coming out really nice. So here's the silicone sheet, and here is my hello cutout. And then I'm just going to take some snail, and I'm going to put that on the back. Now the snail will actually stick to the paper, but it won't stick to the silicone sheet. And so, of course, it sometimes does web out a little bit, and I'll show you what I do when that happens. So let me go ahead and continue to work with this. All right, and so then we just get our piece of shimmery white, and we're just gonna take this, and if I do see a little webbing, I can go in with my fingertips and just kind of take that out before I set it down. So I'm just gonna set this down at the bottom, kind of at an angle, so it looks like this. And now if I see any additional webbing, one quick and easy way to take that webbing out is to just use an adhesive remover that Stampin' Up! Sells, and you can just go in and kind of work out any of the excess snail. There we go, that looks pretty good. Then we're going to do just a little bit of stamping. We're going to do Just Saying. I'm inking it up in rose red, and I'm just going to stamp it right here, right above the hello. And then we're ready to add our teacup. So before we add the teacup, we want to take just a little corner of a tea lace doily. And again, I'm going to use some snail, and we're just going to attach this with a little bit of snail here on the back side. And then we can just set this right above the Just Saying. So we'll just center that in and put that down. And now all we need to do is add our teacup. And before we do that, we're going to add this little tag onto the teacup. And so how I like to do that is I take some baker's twine, and I'm just going to cut a little bit off. You don't really need very much. And we're going to take a glue dot, and we'll just set the glue dot here, add the little tag for the tea bag, and then we can just put the baker's twine right over the top of that glue dot. And then just to secure it a little bit more, we can add one more glue dot to the top of that baker's twine, kind of sandwiching it in there. And then we'll just set this right here on the edge of our cup. And then we can take this and just swish it over the side, and we'll add a little bit of Scotch tape to secure that down. And now we have our tea bag attached to our cup. So then the next step is to add dimensionals. And I just added 3 dimensionals on the back, and then we can set this right in here. Just center it in. Beautiful. Okay, and now we can put it right onto our card. So we're going to do that with some multi-purpose liquid glue on the back, or we could use snail. Either one works fine. And then we're going to put this right into our card, right into the front of our card. So it covers up that big hole where we cut out the teacup. No one will ever know it's there. And this is just lovely. So we have our card actually complete, but if you'd like to bling it up, and I do think blinging up is a lot of fun, you can go ahead and using an iced rhinestone. I like using these great big iced rhinestones. You can take your paper piercing tool and just go ahead and set that on the tea bag right there. And that would be fine just that way. That looks very cute. But if you want even a little bit more bling, you can bring in some of our basic rhinestones and then just go ahead and decorate it up. Wherever you feel it needs a little bit of bling, go ahead and bling it up. So I'm going to add 3 right here. And then I'm varying some of the sizes of the rhinestones as well. And then I think I'll add just 2 down here. So. And there we go. We have our card complete. So here's the one I've just done for you. And here is the one I had done in advance. Very fun, very cute. So thank you so much for stopping by today. I truly appreciate you. If you don't currently have a demonstrator, be sure to visit my blog at www.stampingtoshare.com, and I have links there where you can place product orders. Have a great day. Bye-bye.